Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I'm with the Wolf, and this is obviously just general share advice and not personal advice. And Wolfie, woo. Bounce. So far, so good. There's the obviously ASX 200, so we're holding up okay, which is good news. And if you actually look at the Dow, Wolf, so we've had maybe the worst move, for about 6-7 weeks. It's very, it was very poor midweek. And if you look at the NASDAQ, I mean, really hits an aggressive trend line, hits an aggressive trend line, and bounces off it. I mean, the NASDAQ still looks very strong. So what it's telling us, as long as the Dow holds up tonight, and I'll have a look. I don't know what those Dow futures are doing at the moment. I'll try and have a look so we can get a feel, Wolf. But if the market holds up tonight and hasn't gone on, and is obviously handling the Omicron pandemic reasonably well, and the Dow futures at the moment are flat, which maybe not too bad. So as long as it holds up by the end of trade on Friday, hopefully the bounce is still in play. So
Dave, most important question everyone wants to ask is, give me your out of 10 probability of a Santa rally. That's what everyone wants to know. Is there one coming? And out of 10, how would you rate one that it might come? What's the chances?
Well, still listen. I think when you look at what's pulled us back is this Omicron.
Yeah.
I still think it's a weak. There's a lot of things about the virus seems pretty weak. I'd be surprised if that fear stays with us.
Well, there's some interesting news. Let me just read you some stuff out. Right, it's been summarized, and I'm going to plagiarize, but I'm obviously taking some information. So let me just quickly read it out to you. So we've got the stuff I can see on here saying Omicron spreads, but symptoms mild or absent in most reports. South African daily COVID cases, positive rate surges, but hospitalizations only a fraction of earlier waves. GSK says early data suggests its COVID antibody drug, the new drug that's going to come in, a pill instead of a vaccine, is effective against Omicron, right? Suggests. So that's a positive. And Pfizer also says that expects its vaccine to perform well against the Omicron variant. So there's a lot of hope here that this is just actually good event that might actually happen with this Omicron.
Yeah, definitely. So, you feel that I think we're a 7% chance of a decent Christmas rally. And when I say Christmas rally, maybe come back up here, test that
70%, you mean, not 7%.
What?
70% chance?
Yeah.
70. Okay, that's good. That's 7 out of 10 is good. I like that. It's good.
So I mean, maybe come back up and retest at 7,500.
Okay.
But it's the markets are still sort of, it's a bit like pulling teeth, isn't it?
Yep.
There's just pockets of areas which are doing reasonably well at the moment.
But let's just look. At least it gives us that a breather this week, because we were really worried last couple of days. So it just gives us another week to just settle in and just see what happens next week.
It just shows you, though, Wolf, how well the CTM plays it week in, week out.
Don't panic. Just wait.
At the end of the day, the price action is going to tell you what to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
And never a true story than that is ALC, which Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looked like a sell.
Yeah.
Guess what? Came out with a superb announcement today. Contract, $23 million contract over 6-7 years, Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing back over trend now, as long as it stays above that sort of, around that sort of 34 and a half, we're holding.
Yeah. And look, it's almost, look, I was hoping they're going to come out with this big announcement in December, because that's the reason I'm still holding, is for this sort of announcement. And it was PMS, Promedicus like announcement. They normally announce the 20, 23, 30, 40 million type, but there, they jump by 20% on sort of announcement like this. These guys, no, it's only 11%. It's only just a fraction of Promedicus, what it is. you know, the big difference is the profitability, the bottom line. It's very, very different from Pro Medicus to here. But you know what? It's a pretty good company, this. So I'd say, you know, if you read through that actual announcement today, they're also talking about that if things go well with this project, the 23 over 6 years, there's potential to expand that, which means 50 million bucks over 15 years, Dave. So that could be potentially set up with just one contract. One hopes there's plenty of other things they're working on, but I love the fact that they partnered up with a big boy from America, which could open more doors for them. So for me, very positive. It's just really strange that the market's not responding to it like it probably would with Pro Medicus.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wolf, you know what? When you look how it had that beautiful move up and it went sideways then for about a year until it had another move. It's still most probably in that sort of sideways move, isn't it, for another 4 or 5 months?
Yep.
Unfortunately, but I mean, good story, and for long-term holders, I can understand why they'd obviously announce it like that. They'd be sticking in with it.
Yeah.
CSL Wolf, they had an announcement.
Well, I think it was they had to say something because the media was speculating that they are in the throes of doing a big takeover out of Switzerland. So a big drug company. I think they're going to pay. Let me think. Can't remember. I think about 10 bill or something like that. So it's a significant purchase by I think the biggest ever by CSL. So it's definitely significant. And it looks like a decent price because I had a look at the some of the financials on there. It looks like a decent price. So they did say that it's not complete. It might not eventuate. So they are warning people not to get too carried away with it. But of course, it potentially could weigh. We just don't know what the structure of that deal will be if it actually happens, whether there's going to be a big dilution or not. So let's see what happens. But there's definitely something going on in the background. So if I'm in CSL, fundamentally, I'm still holding, of course. But with a trader, Dave, what would you do? If you're a trader in this, you probably wouldn't be, but if you're a trader in this and holding, what would you do?
Well, I did say last week to sell it because I think it had a move. It was just struggling to get through that 320. So, yeah, no.
Fair enough. Get out. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, Dave, let's talk about another little story.
Yeah, this is interesting, Wolf, because there's been a few like this that have come to our attention. Small caps paying big dividends, not looking too expensive. And this is certainly CGO. I think it's pays a nice little around 7% dividend.
Yeah, so let me just quickly go through it. So, obviously you got it, I think, on your Einstein. Somebody talked about it. I remember of ours saying, look, this is a good looking chart. It obviously pricked my interest, Dave. I always like a good looking chart, but then I see, is it a little FOMO stock or is it something that needs to be investigated further? And this one fell into that latter category. So I did have a look through it. And it's actually looking very, very interesting. Financially wise, super cheap, right? Single digit PE ratio. You've got a huge dividend to boot. It has a very nice growth. And question is, what does it do? It's actually in the software IT business. So the margins are about 10% from what I can see here, which is okay-ish and improved last year. But I think it's probably a story that's on the up at the moment. So last 12 months has been really, really good for them. They're looking to improve on that in FY22. So look, it's not going to be for everyone because it's not super exciting, but love the chart. Love the fact it's cheap. Love the fact it's got a dividend. The founders, it's been around for 30 years. The founders have been there. They've got a huge stake still in this company. The son, I think, of the founder is now taken over. So it's like a monarchy in there. No one gets a go except the lineage. But apart from that, Dave, it looks good.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, the chart looks good. It's been charting absolutely beautifully since November.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just coincidental. I mean, we had a buy signal on it, and like all the trending stocks, I must say, Wolf, at the moment the market's not trending. So I think you've got to be really careful at these sort of. Certainly hasn't been trending the last 2 weeks, and I think you've got to take that into account. And if you're in some trends, as long as they're not breaking trend lines, well, I think the story's still bullish. So stay with it. And just be careful. Trying to make short-term money in this market is not easy at all.
Yeah. So if you obviously didn't get in, I suppose this is an opportunity because I think fundamentally now it makes a bit more sense when I have a look at it. So opportunity right there, lightly traded. It's a micro cap, right? So just like I said, be careful, high risk, but the story is decent. So I'd say if they perform well in 2012 financially, I'd say this is going to go higher, at least 70 plus, maybe even 80 cents.
Yeah, hopefully, Wolf, again, good chart, and I think we just got to hold in there.
Yep.
Wolf, I must say the trade we put on the other week, this market has been tough, but PRO holding up extremely well. So I think it gives me encouragement that stock, if the market can just hold up and we can still stay reasonably bullish, I think this could go on with it very, very nicely. And good to see also with AV1, we spoke to the CEO the other day. Very nice Stockhead article on the company, and fully suggest if you haven't read that article to go to Stockhead and read it, because I think it was very interesting.
Yeah, I think if you haven't seen the video, have a look at the video.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the video's obviously a lot better, Wolf, isn't it? But
no brainer.
Well, did you say no brainer?
Yes. Can we go to my no brainer? That maybe will become actually a.
All right.
My no brainer might be vindicated one day, but maybe not yet. At least it's recovering slightly.
So when did you call your no brainer here?
Around 40, I think. So then went down to 37. Now it's back. So
that's all right. So maybe,
I think.
So Wolf, maybe a no-brainer is going to be a no-brainer.
Oh, I hope so. But I'm never going to use that word ever again, Dave. So thank you.
All right. On that note, listen, Wolfie, we got live at 12 o'clock. Yep. It's pretty quiet today. I think the good news to take out of it is that the markets are holding up. The big fall that one day could come, it doesn't look like, touch wood, it's not going to be this week, but we have to be careful, because I'll tell you what, it's all about tonight on the Dow.
Exactly. We still got one day for them to go.
Yeah. So if the Dow obviously crashes tonight, it's a bad sign. But if the Dow can hold up, then hopefully next week it'll be all right, Wolfie.
Yep. Agree.
On that note, look forward to live at 12 o'clock. Thanks, Wolf.
Please join us. Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.